March 8, 2014, was an event that shook the global aviation industry. The plane, carrying over 200 passengers, mysteriously disappeared into thin air. The most expensive search operation in history. More than 10 years of waiting in vain. Crashed into the sea. Terrorist. Shot down. Or are there any other conspiracy theories waiting? They deliberately lied and misled the whole world. As more clues are uncovered, the truth will inevitably be exposed. This video tells the story of the most mysterious disappearance in modern aviation history. MH370 flight of Malaysia Airlines. On the night of March 7, 2014, Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia, the Boeing 777-200ER, an enhanced version of the Boeing 777, the world's largest twin-engine aircraft. Final checks were being conducted for the 6-hour flight to Beijing, China's capital. The aircraft carried 277 passengers and 12 crew members. Most of the passengers were Chinese nationals, 50 were Malaysian nationals, and the rest were citizens of 12 other countries, including Indonesia, Australia, and India. The captain of the flight was 53-year-old Zahari Ahmad Shah, a highly experienced pilot for Malaysia's national airline. 27-year-old Farik Abdul Hamid, the co-pilot, was making his debut flight as a pilot approved by the Department of Civil Aviation, Malaysia. At 0:41 a.m., the aircraft received clearance to take off. MH370 turned right onto runway 32.
Delivery Malaysia 370, good morning.
10 minutes after stabilizing its flight path, the captain contacted air traffic control and was cleared to ascend to an altitude of 25,000 feet. The aircraft then continued to climb to 35,000 feet, and the flight remained completely smooth. At approximately 1 hour and 18 minutes into the flight, the aircraft began approaching the airspace south of the South China Sea at an altitude of 10,760 meters. The sky at this time was lightly clouded.
Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
What seemed like a normal farewell from the pilot turned out to be the final signals before MH370 became the most mysterious aviation disaster in modern history. Just 1 minute and 43 seconds later, at exactly 1:22 a.m., the massive Boeing vanished without a trace from radar screens. MH370 had truly vanished. All subsequent attempts to contact and locate the flight were unsuccessful. The aircraft's transponder had ceased functioning. So what happened to it? Or did someone intentionally turn it off? No one has the answer. Immediately, the largest search in history was
Australia,
launched,
China,
with the
and Malaysia
participation of 26
have
countries.
collectively decided to suspend the search.
Dozens of military aircraft and warships equipped with the most advanced detection equipment were deployed across both the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand. 4 days after the accident, a glimmer of hope emerged from Malaysian authorities. Their military radar, which was not dependent on the transponder, had captured the aircraft's last signal at 2:40 a.m. The aircraft deviated from its initial flight path, then abruptly turned left, passing over Penang Island, Malaysia, and continued heading northwest, subsequently flying for approximately 7 hours until it ran out of fuel and lost signal in the southern Indian Ocean. Along with the above information, Malaysia also acknowledged that this was only a vague piece of information, as their radar could only receive signals from aircraft and did not know exactly which flight it was.
If you do want information, let it go through this panel of experts that we have established, and if it doesn't affect their investigations, by all means, we can release it. But the point is this, any information that we release will not stop speculation.
The searches continued without yielding any results. Public opinion remained puzzled by one question. What happened to a massive aircraft carrying 239 people that could vanish without a trace?
No result, then we can prepare to look at it.
As time passed, under scientific analyses and perspectives, the truths behind the mysterious disappearance gradually revealed a conclusion. Based on solid evidence and supporting facts, The most widely accepted theory is that the plane crashed into the Indian Ocean. Like many other aircraft, the Boeing 777 is equipped with a satellite communication system called SATCOM, which receives and sends signals from the ground, providing detailed records and complete flight data before takeoff. It is connected to the Push ground station in Australia. Later, during the flight before its disappearance in the South China Sea, although it was repeatedly interrupted, requiring relogin and then automatically restored, based on the analysis of satellite communications between the aircraft and the Inmarsat 3F1 satellite communication network. Experts from the Air Accident Investigation Branch concluded that the aircraft did indeed fly along the southern corridor and the Indian Ocean and crashed at a location within Arc 7, the area west of Western Australia. Additionally, the aircraft is equipped with an underwater locator beacon with a battery life of up to 40 days after the accident. If the impact is strong enough, it can emit a sound that can be recorded by an underwater device called a hydrophone. These are the signals believed to be from MH370. Through collection from various stations, it was calculated that MH370 is at a depth of nearly 4,000 meters under the ocean floor. But it has not been convincing enough for everyone. Some opinions suggest that it is just the sound of geological tectonic activities. Just when the evidence seemed to lead us into a dead end, on July 29, 2015, the most convincing piece of evidence appeared in Reunion, a small island in the Indian Ocean, 700 kilometers east of Madagascar. A 2.7-meter long, 1-meter wide piece of debris, waterlogged for up to 6 months and covered in seaweed, washed ashore and was confirmed to be a flaperon from a Boeing 777. Additionally, along the southeastern African coastlines, numerous other debris and objects were discovered. At least 31 of them were recovered during the investigation. Boeing experts confirmed that they belonged to parts such as the engine cowling, landing gear, and tail of the aircraft. However, while these initial fragments were considered keys to the mysterious disappearance of MH370, a large-scale search across an area of 120,000 square kilometers, with the aid of unmanned submarine detection, yielded no positive results. According to calculations by Professor Charita Patirachi of the University of Australia, based on research and calculations, if a crash did occur, the aircraft debris would surface in the area around Rennell Island within 18 to 24 months. However, at the current rate, it seems too early and very difficult to determine. Many people question whether the debris is from MH370, and if it is indeed from MH370, why did it fall to the bottom of the Indian Ocean? Many theories suggest that the plane caught fire. According to records, 11 tons of cargo were loaded onto the aircraft before takeoff, including a 221 kilograms package containing lithium batteries, which are believed to be highly flammable and explosive. Additionally, if not caused by the batteries, the aircraft could still catch fire due to an electrical short circuit. When an aircraft catches fire, the first thing pilots must do is to turn off the main electrical circuit and then restart each circuit until the faulty circuit is identified. Therefore, the aircraft's radar signals, transponder, and SATCOM would also malfunction or be completely disabled. With his experience, Captain Zahari sought the nearest airport for an emergency landing. This is why the aircraft changed course. So why didn't it land at the airport? Because the fire caused oxygen depletion, the aircraft's pressure dropped suddenly, and toxic fumes were produced in greater quantities. Even with oxygen masks, the pilots could no longer hold out. A similar incident occurred with Helios Airways Flight 522, where all 3 crew members lost consciousness, but the autopilot continued to fly the aircraft for another 2 hours. As for MH370, it continued to fly for 7 hours and then crashed into the Indian Ocean. People still don't believe that any autopilot system could control an aircraft for up to 7 hours and consider this theory insufficient for verification. Public opinion shifted towards another theory, that the captain intended to commit suicide. Some Australian investigators pointed out on a television program that the captain deliberately took the plane out of radar range to crash it into the sea. they discovered that before the final communication, the aircraft's radar transponder had been turned off. Psychological analysis suggests that instead of repeating the frequency signal to air traffic control, the final words, "Good night, MH370," were like a preparation to bring 239 people to their deaths with him. In the flight path, there seemed to be a psychological struggle, and ultimately, he waited for the plane to run out of fuel so it would crash into the sea. This argument was strongly opposed and criticized by the captain's relatives and colleagues, as he had a very happy life with his wife and children. Terrorist hypothesis. 2 Iranians using fake passports raised suspicions of terrorism. A design flaw in the Boeing 777 allows access to the equipment bay and control systems. The hypothesis suggests that hijackers disabled communication systems, depressurized the aircraft, and took control. Information from Russia suggests that the plane was hijacked and taken to Afghanistan, with passengers being held hostage. Many theories continue to be put forward. Shot down during military exercises. Following the MH17 incident, there is a theory that MH370 was accidentally shot down during U.S.-Thailand military exercises. Mistaken for a terrorist threat, the truth is being hidden for political reasons. Graphene patent. A conspiracy theory about 4 Chinese people on the plane possessing important patents. When they were lost, ownership fell into the hands of a company owned by a financial elite family. Time warp/aliens. The theory that the plane fell into a time warp or was abducted by aliens. Someone received mysterious encrypted messages after the disappearance. Current status. MH370 remains a great mystery. The victims' families still hold out hope.